For hundreds of thousands of years, humans searched for a home. Today, they woke up inside one. For the first time, there was nowhere else he needed to go.
The village woke together like one family. Children no longer grew up on endless journeys. They grew up with neighbors. Food had become security, and security gave birth to peace.
Bora had spent a lifetime searching for shelter and found a home before the end of his journey.
Temporary shelters slowly became permanent homes.
The roads of the past were still there, but nobody needed to follow them anymore. Knowledge no longer disappeared with each journey. It stayed where the children could inherit it.
Civilization did not begin with a king. It began when humans chose to stay.
The question was no longer where to go, but how to live together.
Every village needed a heart. For the first time, everyone built something they would all share. A village needed more than houses. It needed a place to belong. He had never imagined a place where everyone could gather without preparing to leave. Families were no longer defined by the journey, but by the place they called home. For the first time, childhood had a neighborhood. This was no longer a camp. It was the beginning of a community. The fire that once helped humans survive now helped them live together.
Humanity had finally found something more valuable than food. It had found a place to belong.
A village wakes differently than a camp. Everyone already knows where they belong. Knowledge became something that could be taught instead of rediscovered. Some people no longer hunted. They became builders. Others became healers, because healthy villages live longer. Civilization begins when everyone no longer does the same work. Skills became gifts, passed from one generation to the next. A village grows stronger when everyone protects each other.
Humanity's first companion had become the village's first guardian.
The greatest decisions were no longer made alone. A village is not built from wood and stone. It is built from people who choose to care for one another. A village survives because someone watches over tomorrow. Every family cared for its own garden, and every garden strengthened the village. Builders no longer created shelters. They created generations of homes. Knowledge became a harvest that never stopped growing. Shared food became shared responsibility. Every child learned more than survival. They learned a profession. The village had gained more than a friend. It had gained a guardian.
Protecting the harvest became everyone's responsibility.
History no longer disappeared with those who remembered it. A village had become something greater than a place to live. It had become the heart of humanity.
Every path now led back home. A village survives when everyone contributes.
Food was no longer only gathered, it was prepared with care.
The village protected its people and its future.
A true home is built by helping those who can no longer build alone.
Knowledge became a treasure stored beside food.
The animal once feared by humans had become the protector of their children. When survival became easier, celebration became possible. Every light in every home told the same story. Someone had chosen to stay. One village would inspire another, until the world itself began to change. A village became stronger when everyone mastered a different skill. The first craftsmen transformed earth into something that could protect food.
Skills became professions, and professions became traditions.
Better tools meant better harvests, and better harvests meant a stronger village.
Prosperity demanded fairness. The first community was built on sharing, not on wealth. A civilization is measured by how it cares for its weakest.
Trust had become stronger than fear. Every evening ended the same way. Everyone came home. Soon, these paths would connect villages, and villages would connect the world. Beyond the horizon, other people had learned the same lesson. For the first time, strangers arrived not as hunters, but as neighbors. Food became the first language shared between villages. Trade transformed strangers into partners. He had lived long enough to witness something greater than survival: friendship between villages. Even the wolf understood. These visitors came in peace. A shared meal could accomplish what weapons never could. The world was becoming larger, one village at a time. Villages multiplied, and the first network of humanity quietly emerged. One family became one village became many, and together they laid the foundation of civilization. The world was no longer made of isolated families. It had become a network.
Every path carried more than goods. It carried ideas. Trade rewarded skill, and skill inspired innovation.
New materials changed old traditions. Knowledge grew faster when it was shared.
Children were growing up in a world larger than their parents had ever imagined.
Some journeys now ended with a promise to return. Peace created celebrations that no hunting camp had ever known. A single decision to stay had changed humanity forever. The first village was never the end of the story. It was the beginning of civilization. For the first time, every sunrise welcomed the same home.
Everyone had found a purpose, and every purpose strengthened the village.
He had survived the age of wandering to witness the age of belonging. The children would inherit a world their ancestors could never imagine. Years passed, and the village continued to grow.
The first roads were not built with stone. They were built with trust. Everything began with a handful of seeds.
Villages became towns. Towns would one day become cities. Civilization did not appear overnight. It grew patiently, one generation at a time. Every kingdom, every empire, every civilization began when ordinary people chose